Hello and welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James, and we didn't lose him on the Alps. Matto Phillips is back. How's things, mate?
Well, the only reason he didn't lose me on the Alps because I didn't go to the Alps.
They have the Southern Alps, right? You didn't go near them?
Went through them, didn't go up them.
Ah.
Drove past a few, or
Well,
many Alps.
Here's what
Many.
this is what Damo should have learned years ago. Just don't go near him and you'll be fine. Matto just avoided him, and look, he's back for the show.
I just looked and went, "Yep, that's an Alp," and went home.
That's an Alp.
I didn't really do it. That's an Alp.
I've seen footage of you, like a bungee jump. No,
Swinging.
giant swings and all sorts
Giant
of
swing.
shit on trikes or tricycles. Like you've done some shit while you were gone, but no Alp climbing.
No
Good
Alp
decision.
climbing. Good decision. When they said it's a 20-kilometer walk, I said no thanks. Dabo can stay up there.
Is that
Yes,
is that where Mount Doom is in the Alps? Yeah, of course it would be.
it's not the Alps. It's
Or something
in
else.
the North Island because that's the volcanic island.
Oh, okay.
And you can walk over an active volcano, which I thought, no thanks.
Yeah, I'll pass.
And also, I
There's
forgot to
horror
bring the
stories
ring too.
Hey,
I forgot to bring the ring, so there was
what's
no
the point?
point really going up there. It's pointless, absolutely pointless going up there if you don't have the ring.
Well,
Could take a burger ring, but then
go all Adam Cooney about the whole thing, which is a football reference for the
Yeah.
majority of you who are watching. You will absolutely have no idea what I just referenced then. But it's good to have you back, and I've spent about 20 minutes before we started recording this one just updating Matto on all the things that have been going on in the video game world while he's gone. While he's been
because
gone.
I paid absolutely no attention to the outside world whatsoever.
No, that's a good way to spend the holiday. So congrats on kind of missing all that stuff. You've been caught up really quickly. It's been a busy sort of period, but you got
A
back
lot.
just in time for another big beat, which is why we're kind of recording this kind of bonus episode, really, because we'll still do our. I mean, Matto hasn't got much that he's been playing over the course of this last
3
month, but that's
weeks.
why we kind of we're bundling December and January together with our patched updates, which will go live next Tuesday in its normal time. But this one's going up early, and it is dedicated to the Xbox Developer Direct that occurred, or Developer underscore. I don't know why there's an underscore in their thing. They need to stop that shit.
I think they just try to be cool, and it's not cool.
It's not. But what was cool was
Is it a file naming? If that's the case, then sack ya. No, don't sack them. You've sacked enough people,
They've
Xbox. Don't
sacked
sack
enough
that
people,
one.
Yeah, I don't quite know what they're going for there, but whatever. The presentation, though, was really good. So we knew about it going into it that we were going to get Doom the Dark Ages, South of Midnight, and then Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, and then a mysterious fourth game. Turned out we got the mysterious fourth and fifth game in the end. But we'll just kind of go through what was kind of revealed. It's not going to be a super long episode because there was only 5 games in the end. But we've given PlayStation and Nintendo spotlight this month. We'll go Team Green now. You want to go top to bottom in terms of the order that everything happened?
Might as well.
All
It's
right.
the easiest way.
It's the easy way to go. Well, it began with the mysterious fourth project, which all we knew going into it was meant to be something like kind of a legendary Japanese franchise. Now, I don't know. I don't think I actually posted on like a social media channel, so I don't have the clout to be able to get out there and say I told you so. But I certainly put it in a few chats, which I can draw the screenshots out of if people need them. I called Ninja Gaiden in the days beforehand, and that's exactly what we got. We got 2 of them.
2, yes. But when you wrote it in there in the comments, did people say that's ridiculous? You're a dickhead.
I'll scroll back
Oh.
now. This is a chat with both pop culturists, Max and Betson, and then Joel as well from Anna Game. I'm gonna have to. I very smugly sent a GIF this morning, the one from The Office. The
Boom roasted.
nailed it. The classic nailed it that I sent this morning. But no, oh come on, why isn't it? There we go. I just we were chatting yesterday and asked everyone what do you think it's going to be. I said I think it's going to be Ninja Gaiden. That'd be cool. But everyone going, oh, my money's on Resident Evil. My money's on this. Oh, Max comes out and goes, yeah, didn't they just announce a 2D Ninja Gaiden at the Keeleys as if they're going to have another one? Sucked in, mate. They did announce one. They did announce one at the Keeleys too. They're going to have 3 Ninja Gaiden games coming out this year, which is pretty full on. But
Why Resident Evil? What would you think Resident Evil for?
because
Capcom don't
they
need
keep
to
churning that
go.
shit out, right?
I know, but they don't need to put it in Xbox Direct and go, oh, hey,
Yeah, there's
we
no
need your attention.
surprise. We got a new one.
It's like, oh, yeah. It's like, hey, here's Monster. Oh, hey, guess what? Here's Resident Evil. Like, I don't see that. I was just thinking, I just thought Hello Kitty. No, it's not.
There is a Hello Kitty Island Adventure game coming out this year. Remember, like the
I
South
know the
Park
South
reference?
Park reference. I always laugh at the South. I actually thought it was an actual game. I was wrong
But it is an
until
actual
now.
game this year.
It is now the actual game.
And we actually just had, so we've been posting on the Player 2 website, like we got a whole bunch of the team to write up their top 10 most anticipated games. And conveniently enough, as we record this, so Friday, I posted Nick Hudson's from the team, and there's a graphic that's not appeared. Specifically for the one that I'm looking for. But anyway, Hello Kitty Island Adventure is his third most anticipated game of the year, which is awesome. But
Is it above GTA 6?
Most people didn't have GTA 6 on the list, but let me see if he did.
See? Real
He
gamers
did
right
not.
there.
In
Real
fact,
gamers.
the only AAA...
Oh,
there's
come
two
on.
AAA games on this list. The first one is number 10, Judas. And
Yeah.
the other one
Is that coming out?
Troy Baker said something in an interview. I think it was GQ. No, GQ. I think maybe late last year, where he was suggesting that it might be. And the other one was kind of more of a guess on his part, anyway, which I genuinely don't think is going to happen because of GTA 6 and next gen Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm like, mate, they're not doing that this year. But
that's
anyway,
a silliness.
He's excited about the prospect of it. But number 3 is Hello Kitty Island Adventure. So, not just a joke, it's a thing. But Ninja Gaiden 4 was revealed, as well as, and it was kind of a little, and here's one we prepared it, or here's one, no. One more thing, but they did it at the beginning of the show, which is weird. Ninja Gaiden 2 has been remade. It's Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and it's out now. PlayStation, Xbox, PC.
Yes, they did the Nintendo and just gone, hey, it's available today. Like, wait, what? On Games Pass.
Yeah.
On Games
Which
Pass.
they've done in the past, to be fair, because that was how, what should we call it, dropped. One of the 4 games that's come to Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, yes.
That was and it's out now. Stealth Drop too. But did you play much Ninja Gaiden at all?
I've played 0. But for some reason I knew what the game was anyway, because I thought, yeah, that looks like Ninja Gaiden, or I like to call it Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden.
Which is not the correct term, but it was just say it was very interesting that they got it off first, which makes perfect sense. Unlike last year where they just put the Mana games at the end, or somewhere near the end of the presentation.
Yeah, it was somewhere near the end. I think it was like second last or something like that. It
was quite weird, but yeah, get out of the way. It is Xbox still trying to get into for some reason, the Japanese market, which, let's be honest, good luck.
Yeah, I'm really interested in the way they're doing this one. So this is like a partnership between Xbox, Team Ninja, and Platinum Games. Xbox is publishing it, but it's then still going multi-plat. It is coming to PlayStation, just in case anyone's missed that, because they've mostly done a pretty good job of kind of concealing that. Social media, you'd have no idea that it was coming to PlayStation. But there was a graphic in there, and it's been going around since. It is coming to PlayStation as well. The whole structure of it's weird. Like, it's already one of those scenarios where, almost a bit like Perfect Dark, where you've got 2 teams collaborating in Team Ninja and Platinum. Platinum is an interesting one because a lot of people were like, holy shit, they could be about to close because, what's his name? Not Miyazaki, he's the Souls guy. Kamiya went off to go do Clovers and Okami. Like a lot of the key players had kind of left and people gone, oh shit, this studio, and then we'd heard nothing for a while. Remember, what was that live service game that they put out that fell apart a couple of years ago? It was like a Square Enix thing. It basically died on the vine straight away.
Oh, try to remember. It's not the Bubble game. It's not Foam Stars, is it?
No, it wasn't Foam Stars.
The Dodgeball?
No.
Hyperscape. There's been so many Battle Royale games that I've forgotten. Hellfire. Spellbound.
Babylon's Fall.
Oh, yeah. That didn't go well. That went bad.
No, it died very, very quickly. I don't think it even made it a full year in the end. But, like, they've basically been silent after that. So people were I think, and then they were losing some key people. You're like, oh shit, they might be dead. It seems like they were just busy working away on Ninja Gaiden 4, and kind of keeping quiet as a result. So it's good to see that team's up and about and presumably in a good financial place. But yeah, it's a weird one that they're already pairing together, and then you go and add Microsoft on top of it. I don't know what they're bringing to it other than publishing. I presume just publishing. But then why do they need to publish it? Koei Tecmo is the team that, or the publisher that owns, or at least they largely work with Team Ninja. They are again involved in this, but then Microsoft's publishing. So I don't. It's a strange sort of thing.
It is a very head scratching situation. You just go, I don't understand why.
Yeah. It's a bit like there was the Capcom game that came out last year. The strategy one. I'm hoping it'll just come up, but it's not appearing when I look for it.
Try to think of Capcom.
Completely
I think of Dragon's Dogma. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, there was another one, and it had a really Japanesey game. It wasn't very English westernized at all. I think it's on my wish list on PlayStation, so I can try and find it. Kinitsugami.
Oh yes.
Path of the Goddess that came out last year. That was also published by, even though Capcom developed it, it was published or like partially financed by Xbox. So they're doing some weird stuff at the moment. I guess kind of getting themselves involved so they can maybe take small little chunks of every sale, even if they are going to put it on PlayStation and PC and everything else that's not theirs. It's a strange situation, but the game itself looks both games, like the 2 remake and then 4, look great. So, and we're gonna get to play them before the year's out. I don't know if I will. A bit like you said. You said you haven't played any, and I've barely touched them because those, and I played them like back in the day. They were brutally tough. Like
I know, I do know they're brutal games. That's probably the main reason I stayed away from them, because you always hear people go, "Oh, it's absolutely brutal." I think I don't want to torture myself.
I would say harder than a Souls game.
Oh,
and
really?
I would say that in part because it's so fast. So like your death can just happen like that, which can happen in a Souls game too. But like the enemies are slow. Like you don't really. I mean, outside of Bloodborne, which is kind of meant to be a faster, more actiony style experience, and maybe Sekiro a little bit as well. Everything is a little bit more slow, and it's about getting your blocks and your parries and those sorts, and kind of moving around the space properly, so you've got time to run or make space if you need. If you don't know what you're doing, you can always just run away until you can try and work out what's going on. Ninja Gaiden, you didn't have room to move, and if you were shit, you just get owned. So, which happened to me all the time. They did put out the Master Collection a couple of years ago, which had some difficulty stuff. So I'm hoping, like, for me to have a chance of playing this on PlayStation, Xbox, whatever I play it on, I hope that there's some difficulty stuff. Because if that's the case, I'm in. If not, I don't know. I'll wait until they patch it in or something. But hopefully they learned something from their Master Collection a couple of years back and they do it. We might also learn from this Ninja Gaiden 2 Black that's out. Like maybe that.
Oh yes.
I'm hoping to check it out in the next day or so.
Why 2? Why 2?
Because they've already had a black version of the original Ninja Gaiden.
Right.
The original Ninja Gaiden had a black version, which was weird. It was almost like a definitive edition, but not on the Xbox. That was tied up in some exclusivity stuff. So when they wanted to bring it to PlayStation, they had to call it Ninja Gaiden Sigma. Because of course, Sigma is a word that we're using in 2025 still. But
Mitsubishi uses it.
Huh?
Mitsubishi uses it.
Yeah, don't see too many with that car, do we?
No one does. No one drives a Mitsubishi anymore.
I'm just sick of hearing the word Sigma, but that's probably because I work with teenagers.
Oh yeah, that word. I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I blocked it from my mind until you just said it, and then it just all came back to me. It's like, oh god,
Sigma, fuck off. So then when it came to Ninja Gaiden 2, they had Ninja Gaiden 2 on the 360. It then eventually got a Sigma version that came to PlayStation, and then it was like Sigma Plus that came to Vita. But they never had a black version for some reason. I don't know. Like, there's some weird naming stuff going on here. Black was kind of the best version of the original Ninja Gaiden, and I think they're going to come back and say Black 2 in this, or Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is going to be the definitive edition of that game as well. It's a weird one, but it's all in Unreal 5. It's looking like visually, it looks amazing. And then it's going to be the Ninja Gaiden 2 from years ago. I'm keen to check it out, and hopefully, if they have that difficulty stuff, I might actually finish it. So, any other thoughts on the 2 Ninja Gaidens, or you want to move on?
We can move on.
All right, let's get into South of Midnight. We've got Avowed coming out really, really soon, but it is the next exclusive coming up after that. April 8th is the release date that they announced. We've seen little bits and pieces of this in the past. They didn't really, for my mind, they didn't really show anything particularly new about it outside of the release date. It felt like it was, okay, we're just getting more gameplay that we've kind of seen. They're just doubling down on the message. What do you think?
It looks nice. I'll get that. But are they giving too much away of the story? I feel like they go too much detail in the story. It's like, oh, this happened, this. It's like, I don't need to know. Like, just give me like one sentence.
Their
just
eagerness to talk about the Deep South. Yeah.
So just do like what you do in the day. Just put it in a sentence. 10 words or less. 10 words or less. You don't need to give anything away. It's like, oh yeah, your mother got taken away in a house in a flood. It's like, I don't need to know that.
Maybe that, like, all of that focus, because they've been in the developer direct, they've got to have a bit to say. But then, because they had that big showcase at the June showcase last year where they showed off gameplay, they're like, well, we're kind of showing off the same gameplay. What new can we say? Oh, I guess we're gonna have to talk about the story. But they could have kept it shorter and sharper, I think.
There's also like no behind the scenes either. So like with Hellblade 2, where they just did everything behind the scenes, like the sound and the acting and all that. This was just, this is a story. Here's your combat. Here's your skill tree and all this. Here's your characters. Like, yeah, I know all that. I know.
Ninja Theory does a lot. Like, they love a documentary. So they would have had all this behind the scenes footage and stuff. Whereas maybe, I've forgotten their name now. Compulsion, the team that does this. Maybe they're not that sort of team. They don't, put everything on camera and don't have all this behind the scenes stuff that they can draw upon.
But they're also Canadian as well, which also confused me. It's like, you're not South, you're Canadian. You're Northerns.
Yeah. Yeah, good point.
But hey, it's like, okay, it's just completely confusing me. It's like, well, I'm not expecting a bunch of rednecks to be talking about the South, because let's be honest, they ain't making games. Let's be honest. It ain't moonshine. It's nothing.
Let's see. Game developers from Texas. Oh no, actually, I think I already know one from Texas or somewhere in Austin. That's id. Gearbox, I think, is from up there as well in Texas.
Is that? Oh yeah, there's like everyone's in Texas. Most teams.
Do we consider Texas the Deep South? They are quite south.
South enough, yeah. We'll include them, even though
deep
some
South, when people kind of think that way?
Even if Americans come and say no, it's not. It's like, hey,
oh my god, Retro Studios is there.
Oh really?
In Austin.
The
Certain
capital.
Affinity, Austin. Bethesda Game Studios, Rockville, Maryland. Hang on, where's Maryland?
Bethesda's there?
Where's Maryland on a map?
No, I think it's the other way. I don't know my American geography because let's be honest, I don't care.
That's definitely not right. That's near Philadelphia. That's very east. Don't know why that came up, but
so the only states I know in America is where California is, Florida, Boston, and Texas. They're the only 4 I know. Everything else I don't know.
And Boston's just a city, not a state.
Oh, Massachusetts, sorry.
Yeah, it's messy. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend to know. But I mean, look, I'm not too fussed by a Canadian team doing something about the Deep South if they've got the passion for it, because we've also got Sucker Punch that did a game that was deeply, deeply Japanese with Ghost of Tsushima. So,
fair point.
So we've kind of got that sort of. So we also know where now the Cape of America is going to be, because it's not going to be the Cape of Mexico once Donald Trump's done with it, apparently. I don't know if you missed that little juicy morsel in the time you were gone. Holy shit.
All I saw was people started to build sheds. That's all I saw. That's all I saw. I was like, we're back to this again, are we? Oh dear.
The
Let's go build a wall again with a massive hole in it so we can all just get through with ease.
Yeah,
Let's get Mexico to pay for it. And Mexico said, no. Okay,
because of
pay
course
for a
they were
wall.
never going to say
Why
yes.
would we? Why would we pay for a wall that we didn't build? Fair enough.
So that's South of Midnight, April 8th. Next up is going back to the third party side of things again. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which was the French developed game that is incredibly JRPG influenced, lots of Final Fantasy, lots of Persona, lots of kind of traditional JRPG sort of stuff, but then with a story that really feels like it's not. Feels like a Western fantasy style thing as opposed to the Japanese style of fantasy. What do you think?
It looks good. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of JRPGs, but we'll find out. Like, it looks good. I like the story of it. They didn't give too much away. It's like, hey, this happened 67 years ago. Every year, it goes down. They die younger. Like, oh, that's sad. Very sad. But
And apparently, unlike every other group that went before, the 33-year-olds aren't going to take it,
no, until they turn to 33, then they're dead.
and then they're dead. Or
But it is interesting. It's
somewhere
very
through their
interesting.
33rd year. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't listen. I didn't listen too hard to it because I didn't want to
Yeah, I didn't want
get
spoils.
too much. Didn't want spoils. But then, yeah, like the combat seems interesting. Like, yeah, turn based in this day and age. It's not 2.5D, so I'm not confused. It's just usually every 2.5D game you see these days, it's all turn based. You don't really see like what 3D, 4D, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, Persona's kind of the exception to that rule. Which, to be fair, it's a pretty prominent exception.
I say, but Persona's
huge.
just its own thing.
Yeah.
It's like the most well, not confusing story. It's just like if you blink once, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah. It's just got that. Yeah, it's kind of got that fast yet still somehow still turn-based action about it. So, there's a lot that I very much like about this game. Now, I'm still a little bit worried because this team, it's their first ever game, but then it's being portrayed like it's this blockbuster AAA game, and then it's going after a lot of stuff that's been top of the industry for a long, long time. So it's a lot of there's a lot of plates they're trying to spin to try and get this right. But I guess we'll know fairly soon because it got an April 28th, I think it was April 24th, April 24 release date. So coming out fairly soon. The last game, which I feel like is the one that we probably most wanted to talk about, which I suspect is also why Xbox put Ninja Gaiden and all that stuff first, because they wanted everyone to leave with Doom, the Dark Ages on their mind. Holy shit, that looks good.
Oh yes, and it was always the one thing I was always scratching out of going with this game. How does it fit in with the other two? And we found out it's a prequel, and you just go, oh, that makes some sort of sense. We're just in hell before it turns to hell.
Yeah.
And it has a cape, which is a bit concerning because, as in The Incredibles say, no capes.
It's a weird one in a sense that, like, prequel, sure, hell, even in terms of, like, and I assume you heard, did you just watch the trailer or have you seen, like, the actual presentation from the developer direct?
I watched the presentation.
They were talking about how like Doom 2016 was run and gun, and then Doom Eternal
jump
was
and shoot
jump and shoot, and then this is stand and fight. Like, and then when you kind of assemble them in order, you can see this progression in the speed of the game. Like Doom Eternal is crazy fast. Doom 2016 is a quick game, but then this will be a slower style of experience. When you look at them kind of just as 3 games in a row like that, in the chronological order, like, okay, cool, no worries. But I'm worried, like, as a playing experience, going backwards to this from those really fast experiences, whether it's gonna feel off. As much as it will be, I'm sure it'll be brilliant. I wonder if it's just gonna feel off. Cause, like, but you've gone the opposite direction of what you've been doing here, and it wasn't broken.
It's also, if you have this cool shield too, it's like, where did the shield go?
Oh, yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Those other 2 games, and all this weaponry or melee weapons you have, and all we've got is a fist. Or maybe just gave up on it because, like they say, you run and gun, jump and shoot. Like, all I did for those 2 games was the standard was rip and tear. I didn't care
Yeah,
about run or gun or jump or shoot. It was always rip and tear. And I can't. In this one, it doesn't seem to be a lot of rip and tear. It's just throw,
cut through them with a shield. Yeah,
throw and block and punch and shoot. But
Aussies.
the combat, the guns. I think that's the main thing with these games is the guns, the
Yeah.
weaponry, and the guns look good.
They look,
The
yeah, they look
the
amazing.
shield itself. We have ourselves a chainsaw shield, a chain shield, or whatever they call it, or a shield sword. I can't remember what it was
Yeah,
called,
shield
but
saw sounds right.
also
Um,
also looks cool. But like you said, I'm just not sure. Like I'm used to play these games at speed and not heavy movement, shoot, punch. I mean, the shield would be cool. Is cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just you throw it into a crowd and bang, they're gone.
it does feel like you're going to be going from playing Doom Eternal or like Call of Duty, the latest Call of Duty where everything's super fast and moving at ridiculous sort of speeds, to then playing Killzone 2, where you're heavy as fuck. Like you are so slow moving around. It's a great game, but like it's a totally different type of first-person shooter in that regard. Where things, much heavier, slower, and plodding, um, and so yeah, I wonder how it's just like it will play well, but how will players adjust? How will we adjust? That'll be an interesting one. Um, they confirmed a May 15th or 13th release date, depending on whether you like what editions you order. I don't know about you, but I've already dropped a $50 deposit on that collector's edition, the statues and stuff, because I haven't bought many statues of late, but that's Doom's one that can go right alongside the helmet, which
Oh yes.
may or may not be in the shot. Oh yeah, the corner of it is in the shot for viewers. That's like $340. So let's not tell my wife that one. But I'm really keen on the game. Everything looked really great. It presented really well. It was a bit awkward when they started to talk about the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I was like, 'cause we got a whole team doing it. I was like, we had one guy last time, and he was good.
And
It's just yeah.
you'd hate for the soundtrack to not be as good as
You-
what he
Yeah, I
as what
mean,
he built.
if you don't get the soundtrack right, you are gonna hear about it from people. It's going, hey, it's not as good as Mick Gordon. Hey, you should have got Mick Gordon to do it. Hey, maybe you should rebuild that bridge with Mick Gordon, but you can't because he's with another studio. But hey, it's pressure's on that studio if it's
I wonder
not
what he
very
thought when he
good.
was watching, because he would have watched it.
He would watch it and gone, he would have just been laughing, going, that shit. It's like, yeah, you call that music and just laugh and go, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show him in my new game, whatever that is.
Yeah, I
When
can't remember what it was. He was working on a game.
the bunch of Activision, I think it was a bunch of Activision, just former employees of other gaming studios. We had talked about this once before. I just can't remember
Yeah, I'm quickly trying
what they were called.
to skim for it now. Though he did recently post that BFG Division from the Doom 2016 soundtrack has hit 100 million streams.
Really?
Yeah,
On Spotify or
the game is called Defect. He announced it back in November.
Oh, really? I didn't even hear about it.
Just bring up his Twitter account. You'll find it there. I know we're
Oh,
largely drifting
100
away
million.
from Twitter, but it's there. So
100 million. Is that on Spotify?
that was on Spotify.
Surely be Spotify.
Yeah, it was a Spotify stat. But you could toss Apple Music in there as well, and probably get close to doubling it. Maybe, I don't know. Good numbers though. Was there anything you wanted to add when it comes to Doom the Dark Ages?
No, I'm looking forward to it, even though it's still 5 months away, or less than 5 months. But still, I've got
It's
plenty of
only
games
May.
to play.
It's crazy.
But you look at it and go, oh, why is it all coming out earlier in the first half of the year? Well, there's this game called Grand Theft Auto 6, and no one's going anywhere near that release date. No one.
Yeah, if they can avoid it, for sure. That said, Fable is still due for the back half of the year. I can't remember if there was anything else. I'm going to see if I can... What is his name? Clobrile? Yeah. Some super Xbox super fan that, to his credit, puts together some pretty great graphic packs with upcoming games. Xbox Showcase. So from the showcase in 2024, I'm just going to kind of quickly work. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is out. Indiana Jones is out. Though it's like they managed to get through this presentation without acknowledging any stuff that's going to come to other platforms, which is only a matter of time. Indiana Jones, obviously, we already know. We were talking off, like pre-recording about a whole bunch of stuff that's been rumored that's popped up. They got through the whole presentation without talking about a PlayStation port.
But you also got to remember too, Microsoft or Xbox are not very good at promoting stuff as well.
Their own stuff. It's ridiculous.
They're horrible at it because they're like South by Midnight. I forgot about it again because, again, I hadn't heard a thing about it. Same with Doom the Dark Ages. It's like, yeah, it's around the corner, but we've heard nothing until now. And I'll guarantee you, between now and May, we'll hear absolutely nothing about it.
See, I don't think that'll be the case because Bethesda still kind of handles Bethesda's own marketing.
Oh, well, if that's the case then, good job, Bethesda.
But things like Avowed, which...
Oh, yes. Haven't heard nothing. When's that, next month?
It's 3 weeks.
Yeah, heard nothing. Not even the time release.
Codes are due to reviewers any time now. But there's just nothing. It's just like no marketing. They didn't even put Avowed in the direct, which is a weird one considering how close it is. But so yeah, Indiana Jones obviously. Gears E-Day is on the way. Doom's we've just spoken about. Avowed is obviously about to come out. I can kind of appreciate why they didn't do that, but I feel like they could have at least just dropped a trailer in there and be like, hey, but also this is coming. Flight Simulator, Fable, Gears, Perfect Dark. They're kind of the three, and I guess if you want to get technical, you can toss Elder Scrolls 6 in there, that are kind of announced that we didn't get anything new about there. So they've managed to kind of get through it without having to do anything too rash or crazy. And yeah, they've probably cleared, like, they don't want to get too close to GTA, but if they've got one game that's going to do it, it's going to be Fable. And that gives it, there's a whole 6-month window where they can drop there that's going to, potentially give them some space between their launch and GTA. So I think it's very well done. They ticked all the boxes in terms of what they need to show from the games, in terms of giving them release dates. The only one they didn't was Ninja Gaiden, but that's fine. It's not even theirs, so there's only so much, or kind of is and kind of isn't. I think it was an awesome showcase. They did a good job. Didn't have to address rumors. Didn't announce anything for another console outside of the third-party stuff that was going to have to anyway. And then didn't have to do something crazy like show off Gears or show off specifically Fable too soon. They've been able to leave stuff up their sleeve for the June showcase. So I think it was perfect on their part.
Yeah, and we've also got 11 more months for them to do something incredibly stupid, which, let's be honest, it will happen. If they go through the entire year without doing anything stupid, I would call that an achievement for them.
Yeah, it would be something of a surprise.
It'd be something of a surprise, because I reckon the last 5 years they've done something really good, and then they've done something incredibly stupid.
Oh, the other thing that is bubbling along about them, actually, that I am a little surprised didn't turn up, is that apparently Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remake is awfully close.
Like, it's taken them, 15 years to get even more, 16 years to get a remake, and Skyrim's had 17 remakes in that time. Maybe 18, I don't know.
But that was just ports and stuff. This is going to be like a proper remake, so... supposedly, but it's meant to be due sometime this year, so that could be dropping somewhere in the mix as well. But they've kind of paced everything out nicely, and then that could be August, hypothetically. So yeah, good on Xbox. Any other thoughts on the showcase, though?
No, it was good. It was good. Like, really every time they do a showcase, it's always good. They don't do anything stupid, overdo it, and I also like when they were doing it, that they did take out the part where the guy just next to him was just sort of, my dad Doom the Dark Ages, like, you idiot. And he just walked off and laughed. I thought, yes, that's what I like about the whole Xbox showcase. Like the same thing last year. I don't know what team it was. The guy just was talking, and the guy just went to the fridge, got a drink.
Oh, that was the RA History Untold.
Yeah, he just walked off. I was like, oh, that's our boss. Don't worry. He's like, he's our boss or whatever. Don't worry about him. And just left it in there. That's what I like about it. They are professional, but It's like, yeah, they're professionals, but at the same time, they are human and they can make, I wouldn't say mistakes, but just do stupid stuff and it'll just be funny.
Yeah. No, I'm all for the way they carried themselves, the games they showed, the way they showed them. Um, and let's hope that when they do this next time they're announcing, I don't know, Blue Dragon or Lost Odyssey are coming back if they want to do a Japanese thing. Good work, guys. All right, well then I guess we'll wrap things up there. Matto's still recovering from, I don't know, 2 hours worth of jet lag traveling back from New
Yeah,
Zealand. Is it 2 hours? Yeah.
2 hours and it's hot.
Um,
Hot.
Wait, what?
It was like 24 degrees today. I was wearing a jumper,
Oh,
which is not normal.
yeah, okay. Weird one. Well, we'll wrap things up there. If you enjoyed this episode of Patch, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons are down below. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted to every new video the moment it goes live on the channel. That includes Patch, Player 2 Plays, and a whole bunch more. We've got lots of shorts, more and more stuff coming out. Stephen even put up a video version of his Assassin's Creed, Shadows preview. Go check that one out as well. With stacks of footage that he collected while he was playing it and some pretty in-depth thoughts. So go check that out on the YouTube channel. Visit the website player2.net.au for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series Patch, the Player 2 Pixelcast, and Dev Diary. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au. Kick in a few bucks, lower tiers, early access, higher tiers, monthly episode exclusives. And finally, there's Twitter/Blue Sky. Matto.
Or actually, Twitter, Matto
Oh, no,
Phil.
you're not
Blue
the same on
Sky,
both?
Matto Phil.
I'm going to, at some point, probably make the hard pivot because I know the Player 2 one, Matt is going to sunset the Twitter account very, very soon, thanks to old Musky Boy. I'm Paul James Games on both those, so managed to lock that down. And I'm starting to use Blue Sky a lot more in the last week or so. Starting to really embrace it as everyone else moves and Twitter continues to go to shit. Thank you, as always, for watching, and we'll see you later. Matto, we need to do it. Yeah. It's been too long.